afternoon, folks. This is a nice theatre, isn't it?
No Shakespeare.
Very tempting, actually. Right, folks, I need to bring on two more people. First of all, he's a very important figure at Manga Entertainment. He's the one that actually does the deals for us to bring out stuff over here for you. It is Jerome Mazanderani. You'll notice today that he is sporting a very fetching Manga UK t-shirt available at the booth today.
Today or not today? To wait for Evangelion 3 or to import it? That is the question.
And also joining us is the product manager of Manga Entertainment, Mr. Andrew Hewson.
I could get used to this.
Right, folks, we have got a lot to tell you about today. We appreciate that things are running a bit behind time, so we're going to try and scoot through along a little bit just to get things back on schedule. But first of all, we would like to direct your attention to the very large screen behind us because we would like to play a trailer for an upcoming release of ours. I believe I've been told to say, roll VT. Ghost in the Shell, everybody. The original film, not 2.0, the original, remastered in all its glory in full HD, is coming to a limited edition steelbook release on the 29th of September. We are super excited for this. We hope you are too. But as you can see on the big screen, we've also got another Ghost in the Shell property that we want to talk to you about. That being Ghost in the Shell Arise. Because today, we can confirm what the release date will be for Borders 1 and 2, which will be packed into one set. Isn't that correct, Jerome?
That's right. It's a double disc set, part 1 and 2.
24th of November is the date for your diaries, everybody, to get the first 2 episodes, if that's the correct phrasing, of Ghost in the Shell Arise. Out of interest, how many of you, with a show of hands, are interested in Arise? Good. That's a good number. I approve. And how many of you are really interested in getting the steelbook? Good. Now, with a show of hands, has that trailer just convinced any of you now to actually want to buy it? Yes!
It worked. Oh, please go and pre-order it today on base.com with Zavvi. I think Zavvi's got the best price at the moment, and they got through postage and packaging too.
And also, guys, just to make this known, it is a limited print run. Like, once they're sold out, they're sold. We ain't making any more. Not as far as I'm aware.
We're making, I think we're making 6,000 copies in total, and that's it. So, steelbooks are meant to be quite limited as well. So, but more steelbook info to come.
Indeed, indeed. And now, folks, we want to take you in another direction, as it were, because we have a new license announcement for you. And if we can put the next image on the screen, please. Yes. For those of you who are fans of Bayonetta, that wonderful video game from the Xbox and PS3, which I won't lie, I've played so many times, it's so good. We have licensed the film called Bayonetta Bloody Fate. It will be coming to DVD and Blu-ray, and you will also be able to pick that up on the 24th of November. And of course, some of you will know that Bayonetta 2 is coming out very soon on the Wii U, so it's a nice little tie-in for that, and Jerome, you managed to work some magic to make that possible.
I just signed the contract yesterday, so that's all good. And November's going to be very busy. I'm going to tell you more in a second about why that is, but start saving your pennies and getting some stuff on your grandparents' Christmas lists, because you're going to need all the help you can get to buy the amazing stuff we've got coming out.
Indeed, indeed. And now what we would like to do is direct your attention to the big screen once again, because, first of all, how many of you are Street Fighter fans? Good. How many of you have heard of a project called Street Fighter Assassin's Fist? Good. In fact, there's actually a decent amount of you who have not heard of it. So, let's turn our attention to the big screen, because we've got a trailer that we want to play you of Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. Roll VT, please.
Sensei, your spirit, which flows through me, now continues to flourish in a new generation. I want to be proud, but can I prevent history from repeating itself?
I think it is time you taught us the techniques of the Hado. Test us, Shusho. Does this place give you a strange feeling?
Sensing the hardware is not something you want to be part of. It gets results telling you from experience here.
October, everybody. Street Fighter Assassin's Fist is coming out on DVD, Blu-ray, and as a collector's edition steelbook that's also going to come with 4 exclusive art cards. Jerome, there's something else we need to note about this, because when it was shown on the Machinima YouTube channel, it was done in individual parts, if you will, episodes, but it's a bit different for the
yeah, it's been written and directed by Joey Answer, who's a London-based stuntman, choreographer and actor, and he is well known. He was Sith in, I think that was his name, his character's name, in the last Bourne film, Bourne Ultimatum, the last one with Matt Damon, and he was the Moroccan assassin, totally chasing him around. So Joey, this is I think one of the first things he's written and directed, and he's a massive Street Fighter fan. And he got the blessing of the head game producer for Street Fighter and Capcom. And it's originally debuted on YouTube on Machinima as 12, 9, 13-minute episodes. So we're releasing it as a film edit. So it was originally shot as one film, and then they've edited it down for YouTube. And there's loads of bonus content on there, plus some extra stuff that I can't actually tell you about right now, because Funimation are going to announce it at San Diego Comic-Con next week.
Spoiler.
Yeah, but it's really cool. And if you like Street Fighter, I always thought Street Fighter 2, the animated film, is the best adaptation of the game. I thought the live action films are silly, but not that great. But this is really cool. This is like a Street Fighter film made by fans, for fans. You know, it's got all of the moves in it and combo attacks, but it's a good story too, and it's a good origin story.
Yeah, it's really good. How many of you have watched it out of interest with a show of hands? 4 people? Wow. So, how many of you after watching that are actually interested in it? Nice.
Well, you can check it out for free at the moment on Machinima, but it will be going off YouTube, I think, at the end of this month. So, so make sure you check it out, you know, sample it, try it before you buy it. And it will be available at most retailers this one, and probably going to supermarkets as well as, you know, H&B and Amazon and places like that.
And in terms of pre-ordering, is there a time frame when all the people get it?
All of the titles we're showing you today will be available to pre-order online by the end of this month.
And that's with the exception of the Ghost in the Shell Steelbook, obviously, because you can pre-order it now.
You can pre-order that.
And also the title that we're going to be talking about next, which Andrew, I'm going to let you do. I'm going to let you introduce this video because I know you've been wanting to say it.
Roll VT. Oh, it doesn't work when I do it.
Do it again. Try it again.
Okay.
And just like that, everything changed.
Moment of truth, people! Either we secure this ground and get Tank's first stronghold near the walls, or we die! Target approaching!
We were shoved to the brink of extinction almost overnight. The survivors erected walls, withdrawing behind them and frightened huddles for what was to be a century of uneasy peace.
The mass exodus is falling apart.
This is gonna get ugly, and when it does, the plan goes out the window. Come and find me so I can protect you.
You saw it. The colossal one. You were there that day. I've waited years to be trained as a soldier. They said it would take us back to hell.
You don't let the nation things in there.
You told me it's better to cut our losses.
Look around you, Aaron. Don't be a pawn.
Loving this art! You don't know! Not all of it! Too excited!
Face it, all the powers that be really expect us to do is play the game. Bring the dogs down! Bring out the rules of
Remember this, though! You come face to face!
Oh, it's so awesome.
That looks cool.
So good. So, 15th of September, everybody. That is when part 1 is being released. There are 3 versions available. DVD, Blu-ray, and Collector's Edition DVD. Blu-ray, sorry. Try it again. Collector's Edition Blu-ray. And on the Collector's Edition, it will come with a box so that you can actually put part 2 in there as well. It will also come with a 24-page booklet and a bonus DVD disc, which will contain the following extras. The making of Attack on Titan, textless opening and closing. The US trailer, which I'm guessing is the one you just saw, but hey ho. And the Chibi Theatre, which I love the name of this, it's called Fly Cadets Fly. And it's days 1 to 13. So all of that stuff is going to be packed into a bonus DVD disc for you. And you can pre-order that right now from Amazon, Base.com, Zavi, anywhere else you can think of, The Hut.
It's set to be the biggest anime release of the year.
Has everybody heard of it then?
The last couple of years, actually. Hey, I've got a bit of news on Attack on Titan. We've also got a release date for part 2. You're not going to have to wait too long for that after part 1. It's going to be out on the 27th of October on Blu-ray and DVD. So again, you'll be able to pre-order part 2 at the end of this month. And there's no plans yet for a complete series box set. So anyone waiting for a box set, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but we don't know when or if we'll be able to put out a complete season box set. But we will let you know if that changes in the future.
And that's kind of like the case with Sword Art Online. Loads of you may know that we had to release that in 4 parts. That's because that's the only way we could release them. And as it stands, that's not changing either. So we can't do a complete set for that. And that's the case with Attack on Titan.
Well, yeah, but at least Attack on Titan is just 2 releases, so you get 13.
Oh yeah, totally.
12.
And you can have the whole thing within a month and a half. How's that? It's great.
Yeah,
I'm interested. I'm just genuinely curious. Anyone in here not heard of Attack on Titan before this panel? Okay. Now, out of interest, are you guys interested in the show after seeing that trailer?
Actually, yeah.
Yes! Trailers work!
we haven't seen fans that are this excited about an anime show since probably the launch of Bleach and Death Note about 6-7 years ago. So it's pretty cool, and I think it's bringing a lot of new fans in too. So many youngsters down on the convention floor today wearing the cosplay and all that. So
Is anyone dressed as a...
we got any Titan
Yeah.
Slayers in here today?
Yeah.
Oh, what you're doing? The
back there,
Pokemon, like, sort of a Pokemon Titan person.
Can you do us the salute? There it is. There it is.
Andrew, can you do it?
Nah.
And also, for anyone interested in Attack on Titan, don't forget that Bryce Pappenbrook, the voice of Eren in the English dub, he's here this weekend.
And he's been doing some free signings on the Mayan booth in the hall.
Indeed.
And he's a lovely chap, really nice guy. And they've got some pretty cool postcards, Titan postcards to sign, which you can pick up for free, which we don't have on the Manga booth. So
Exclusive.
get in there.
So now, I appreciate you didn't give our technical team much of a chance to prepare for this, and I apologise for that, guys, I realised that was a bit bad on our part. But Jerome, I'm going to let you introduce this next video, and we should say that some of you may be aware of this, but we wanted to bring it to your attention, because you've been paying attention to
Have any of you
TV
guys
show
picked
going.
up a program today, a show program, and have you had a look at it? Have you seen an advert in there for a Netflix exclusive? Can you ring a bell? Well, let's roll the tape, and that will tell you some more.
I've been called a criminal, a terrorist, and a threat to the known universe. But everything you've been told is a lie. The truth is, the Gaia Coalition has become Earth's worst enemy. They've taken our freedom,
For the quality of
our
this
home,
video.
and our future. I am Captain Harlock, and I command the crew of the pirate ship Arcadia. The time has come for all mankind to take a
We'll have like a 1080p trailer we'll be able to host on our YouTube channel soon. But that is Harlock, Space Captain. Are any of you familiar with Captain Harlock?
Yeah, okay, a couple of years, go ahead.
Based on the classic manga and anime series. It's called Albator in France and Italy. And it came out in cinemas there earlier this year, and it was a huge success. It's taken over 20 million euros at box office in Italy and France, and was released on DVD and Blu-ray in France 2 weeks ago. It was like the #2 selling title in their chart. So, for all English-speaking people like you guys and our friends in America and Australia, it's going on Netflix exclusively starting on the 1st of August. I'm happy to announce that Manga will be distributing the DVD and Blu-ray after it's run on Netflix, which will be early next year. And we're working with Toei Animation Studio and GFM Films on that release. So if any of you've got Netflix, how many of you have Netflix? Yeah, let's see. That's a lot. How many of you have watched Knights of Sidonia on Netflix so far? What do you reckon? It's good, isn't it? Yeah, it's cool. So check. There's not a lot of anime on Netflix at the moment, but they do have an exclusive deal right now with the producers of Knights of Sidonia. So that's the only place you can watch it, and it's wicked. And Harlock will be another new addition. Harlock's a $30 million production out of Japan, and if you like the Final Fantasy films, it's like that sort of quality of CG. It's actually even better than that. And there's also Sony releasing later in the year a brand new Appleseed film, which is from some of the same producers and one of the same animation studios that worked on Harlock. So if you like space operas and sci-fi stuff, highly recommend you check Harlock out.
There you go, folks.
So that's the pitch.
So as we said, we will be having a proper full HD version of that trailer very, very soon for you, but given we literally found out about this at like 7 o'clock last night, quick work was had to make sure we could play that for you today. But we've got one more thing we need to show you. I'm so excited to show you guys this. Guys, I'm just going to say roll VT and then we'll have a chat after. This is going to be fun.
Did you not prophesize that in 39 years' time an archival worthy of me will appear? A great sailor. He answers names Kakarot and Goku. So, I take it this means you intend to pay a visit to the Saiyans? I must track down this so-called Saiyans. The fascinating adversary is due to emerge.
Let's go back to where you came from.
Go ahead and come at me with everything you got. Let's kick things up a notch, yeah? I didn't think it was possible. You're a true prodigy, and I knew you had it. A Super Saiyan God! This ends now! Give up and accept your planet's fate! Looks like they're wrapping it up. That was raised on planet Earth. So tell me, how does it feel becoming a god?
We'll have over 9,000 copies to sell. See what I did there?
So there you go, folks. Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. Loads of you have been asking about this, and we've not been able to utter a word until now. It is coming to DVD and Blu-ray. Jerome and Andrew, what else can we divulge about this today?
It's out on the 10th of November, DVD and Blu-ray. You'll be able to pre-order it. Again, we should have all of our October, November, December new releases available to pre-order on Amazon and other websites by the end of this month. And Scotland Loves Animation are going to screen it. They're going to run it up in Scotland, but there's also going to be some UK screens, but not too many. I'm not going to go nuts with theatrical on it. Jeremy's already seen it and won't stop talking about it. To be honest with you.
Okay, I'm just going to put this out there. I am a hardcore Dragon Ball Z nut, and I had the opportunity to see this about a week ago, and I loved it so much. Honestly, if you are a hardcore Dragon Ball Z fan, you will love it.
He loves it. And his mum loves it too.
True, actually.
So we're really pleased that's coming out because we were hoping to get it out in the summer actually, but we were waiting for the English dub, which Funimation's making. So I think they wanted to do theatrical dates. So when you go out in this business, if you agreed to put a film out in cinemas, and you're going out on lots of screens, I think they're going out on like 300, 400 screens, you have to promise the exhibitors, the cinemas, that you won't release it on home video for 12 weeks. That's called the home video theatrical window. It's very interesting. That's why it's coming out at the end of the year. And I'm sure there'll be more stuff to share with you as we get closer to the date and we're doing some cool stuff. But I'm really pleased because it's the first Dragon Ball Z anime film in 17 years. And it's a nice palate cleanser after the abortion that was Dragon Ball Evolution. Did I just say that?
Yeah. Those are the views of Jerome Zambrani, and do not reflect Manga Entertainment UK.
We licensed it from Fox, actually. This isn't something we picked up from Toei. The international sales rights belong to Fox because that was part of their deal with Toei when they made Dragon Ball Evolution, so get any subsequent film. So there's an interesting piece of trivia.
And for those of you wondering, our release will include the Japanese dub with subs as well.
That's right.
So if you watched that trailer and thought, I'd rather watch it in Japanese, it'll be there.
You can. I saw it in Japanese. I watched it at Cannes Film Festival last year, and that's where we did the deal to pick it up. And, I must admit, I have not watched all of Dragon Ball Z, so bits of it, I know. Well, I just sell it, man, alright?
I'm the one that watches it all. But on that note, folks, just a couple of other random bits before we get to an Ask Manga UK where you guys can put your questions to us. Some of you are probably walking in now, and you may be aware of this. How many of you have heard of the film Ashens and the Quest for the Game Child? Good, good. You can buy that DVD and Blu-ray today. If you go to our booth, just look for the big floating shark in the sky. You can't flip him this way.
Next door to the computer exchange.
Exactly, and Ashens has actually got a booth there. You can meet Stuart Ashen himself, you can get it signed, you can buy that today.
Give him a hug.
Give him a hug, as I just said.
The hugs cost £3 per hug.
Plus tax. And, but also, and we want to invite all of you to join in as well, we're actually going to be doing an online community event this coming Wednesday on Twitter. Using the hashtag GameChild, we're actually going to try and do a tweet-along where loads of us around the UK are going to watch the film at the exact same time, talk about it while we're watching it, just using the hashtag GameChild. And if you follow us at Manga UK and follow at Ashens, you can get the details on that as we get closer, and we'll be doing it Wednesday evening. So if you fancy joining in, you're more than welcome to.
Because there's loads of ways you can join in, right? If you buy Blu-ray or DVD, but also you can also watch on YouTube. So there's no excuse to not join in and have an epic water cooler moment with some of the cast and crew of Ashens and the Quest for the Game Child. And it's been a real pleasure working with Stuart and Riyadh, who co-wrote and directed the film with Stuart at Channel Flip. They're the guys that created the film, and we also did we recorded the manga podcast last week.
Available now at mangauk.com.
And Stuart was very gracious and came on and actually made our podcast interesting for once. So thank you, Stuart.
We talked about video CDs, people. Some of you probably have no idea what that is, and now you're curious.
But the 5 people on the internet that do know what a VCD is really got off on it. I mean, there was at least 5 tweets on our Twitter feed now. It was epic, it was awesome.
And of course, Ashens and the Quest for the Game Child, that panel is coming up next. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere and stay for that after. But with that being said, I think it's time to bring our gracious host onto the stage and to go roaming around the crowd to get your questions to put to us. They can be friendly, they can be hate-filled, just direct it all to Jerome. And you can ask us whatever you want and we will do our best to answer the questions.
Just quickly, what time is the tweet-along starting?
It will. The event will begin at 7 PM, and then the actual viewing portion, as I like to call it, will start at 7:30. So we'll be having a chat about various subjects. There'll be time to get the DVD/Blu-ray/YouTube video ready. You can get some beverages ready, some crisps, whatever you want. Pizza, that's what I'll be doing whilst waiting. And then at 7:30 we'll be posting a tweet using the hashtag GameChild that will probably say something to the effect of "press play" in all caps. And then that's what we'll do.
And we've got time in our evening Evangelion for 3.3 questions.
3.33 actually.
Okay, question to stand at the front?
With part 2 coming out earlier and coinciding with the London Comic-Con, are you going to do any big events for Attack of Time there?
We may, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. It was awesome last October when we got some of the guys from Studio Widower. So if they were available, we'd love to get them. But have they actually announced the season 2 yet? Is that official? Or I'm not spoiling anything. I'm just assuming they will make a season 2. But I wasn't sure if they've announced it.
I don't.
Nothing there.
I heard something from the crowd. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I thought I'd been renewed for at least one more season.
Yeah. So they may well not be available. Well, I'll ask because it'll be cool. But the London Comic Cons and this one as well is so busy. It's brilliant. Cons are getting bigger all the time. So that gives us more opportunity to do exclusives, right? Because, you know, if you can say you're going to sell, 500,000 copies or something at the Comic Con, then we can go and make a special package. I'm going to San Diego Comic Con next week. Ooh, did I say that? And that I am. And there are so many people go through that. But nearly everyone selling stuff there has an exclusive, especially, for San Diego Comic Con, because I've got the economies of scale. If you can sell a couple of thousand copies of what you've got, you can afford to do special packaging or variants. So I'm sure we'll be able to do something for London with Attack on Titan.
Before we get to our next question, young lady who's about 6 rows back, are you okay? I just saw you fall down the stairs. Are you okay? Good. Sorry? Do you know what? I can barely see with all the lights, so I apologise for that. But as long as you're good, that's what matters. You're good? Good.
Pretty aspiration's good. Are you good? Good.
Oh, it's a boy. It's apparently a boy.
What?
Again, I apologise for
Jeremy, Jesus, double embarrassing.
He doesn't get out much, because he's always at home having a tweet for manga. You don't let him leave the house.
This is the only time he's allowed out.
He's going to get in Monday and they're going to have a picture of a boy and a girl just taped to the screen. Just going, boy.
Don't give my tears.
Right, we have a question from a lady.
Where are you?
Do you have any information on Attack on Titan Season 2?
No, yeah, we we haven't heard anything official, but it'd be a no-brainer, right? They've got to make another season.
I know that aren't they doing like a recap movie or 2? They're doing 2 recap movies, which one would assume, again, this is me
I
just
hate recap movies. I hate them.
But one would assume that maybe following the second one of that, there would probably be news, because that would be an optimum time to do something. Again, that's just me speculating, so I have no idea.
It's just hard to sell the same thing back to the fans twice.
But we'll buy it, Jerome, that's the point.
We did Death Note Relight, they did those Death Note recaps. And they're basically just editing the episodes into a movie. But you could say, that's so people that don't want to invest all the time in watching a series. Well, you can still enjoy Death Note, but that's not how they think that in Japan. They're like, no, we can get those 50,000 fans that just bought every volume of Death Note to buy these again. It's because it's slightly different. I think that's rubbish. It's not like they aren't making enough money to go and make a proper anime movie or maybe some OVAs, right?
They're doing live action though.
They are, yeah, that's what.
They'll probably be dreadful though. Well, come on!
Who would watch it though? Would you watch it?
Everyone will watch it. It'll be great. I'll probably try and license it. I'm just saying that. Let's be frank. It's, like the budget, the type of budget they're going to spend on it in Japan, it's not going to be more than $30-40 million. And to make a film on that scale, with the VFX work and stuff, you're talking about a $150 million picture, like a Hollywood picture. So I always find some of those effects-heavy films out of Japan that are live action are a little bit wanting. Like Death Note was great. The first Death Note film was good because that isn't really about, you had Ryuk, like the Death God. That was the only sort of visual effects I had to put in there. So you didn't have loads of effects in it because the story's more or less a cat and mouse sort of police thriller. So that worked well. And I've seen Lupin, the Lupin movie that's coming out, live action Lupin third films is really good, but that's more wire work and martial arts and stunts. But it's because these films are expensive to make. I'm worried about the live action type of film. Sorry.
And we have a question in the middle.
Hi, I was just wondering, are we going to be getting any more Geiger episodes than what we've actually had?
No. In fact, no. don't have any plans for any more Guyver out, not the originals, no. There's not much, there's not enough interest from our customers, I don't think, to do it. So sorry about that.
Have a question towards the back.
Yes, hello. I was just, this is more a general question really. How come, no, that's not quite the way I should phrase it. I would like to know why we tend to barely see anime releases from a long time ago. Like, I mean, there's some releases from the 80s, but not that many. There's not that many from...
No, you're right. That's a good segue from the last question. So yeah, we're putting Ghost in the Shell out again. Although it is a completely different version, because what we realised when we put Ghost in the Shell version 2.0 out was that actually fans didn't want a remastered, recoloured version of the film that had, that they'd really mucked around with. People wanted a really nice, high definition, remastered version of the original film. And that's why we are putting Ghost in the Shell on Blu-ray, because we weren't even aware at the time when we did get, that Ghost in the Shell 2.0, which was around 2010, we weren't even aware that there was a HD master for the original version of the film before they'd recoloured it and added all the CG stuff. So I jumped on that because we had hundreds and hundreds of emails and tweets and complaints about not doing it. So that seemed like there's a market for that. I mentioned Guyver. The last Guyver release we did was the more recent series that was originally on ADV, by Boosted Armour, and in fact didn't do very well at all. So it kind of like scares me off from licensing any more Guyver. We get a lot of people asking for Genocyber, and we get a lot of people asking for Fist of the North Star. I mean, yes, we'd be interested in getting those and bringing them out, but I'd rather wait and see if Toho are going to do an HD version of the original Fist of the North Star before committing to it, because I would be so upset if we licensed it today, put out a DVD at the end of the year, like a box set, and then found out that they've remastered how many episodes? 80 odd episodes?
Or just the original film.
Yeah, in Blu-ray we have to do it all again. But for a lot of the older shows, there just is not enough, not for DVD and Blu-ray, there's not enough interest to make it profitable. And another problem is some of those shows you won't see on the streaming sites like Netflix or Animax or Crunchyroll, because the assets are pretty poor. Like the masters, they're in standard definition. They just all of those different video on demand services have pretty specific requirements of the quality, picture quality. So we've had a lot of older stuff that we've pitched to Netflix and people like iTunes, and they've rejected it. So that's another problem with the old stuff. So we need Japan probably to step up, the people that own these shows, and maybe invest in the remastering if they want to keep guaranteeing to earn income and royalties on them in the future.
Someone's phone's going off. Was it mine? Probably.
On the Guyver front, do you think you struggled because it had already been released by ADV?
Yeah, that's probably one reason. Manga had done really well with the original animated series on VHS.
Old school.
Yeah, but yeah, it's also just a struggle. Sometimes it's hard to find who actually owns the rights to these old shows. Some of the things, like Macross, I mean, that's such a spaghetti of rights issues and companies and different people owning it and suing each other, and then you've got Harmony Gold claiming ownership and the original Japanese guys. So Macross is a complicated one. That's probably why none of those new Macross releases have come out here, right, January? So you just have to spend a fortune importing them.
And also, just another parallel, sorry to interrupt, I appreciate it's not anime related, but the old school 1960s Batman TV show, the licenses for that were here, there and flipping everywhere, and I think they just announced in America they were going to do
Blu-ray.
they're releasing the whole thing on Blu-ray, but it took like 30 years to figure out who owned all the rights. So
Adam West.
Yeah. Adam West's away, they're doing a special thing at San Diego Comic-Con for that with Adam West.
We're up, Jeremy. We get it, you're going to San Diego, right?
Did I mention that?
Okay, a question up here on this side.
A quick question regarding Ghost in the Shell Rise. I heard a scurrilous rumour this morning that Funimation's release of the first two films will only contain an English dub, so I was wondering if you can clarify the audio options for the English release. The UK release, rather.
Andrew,
We don't know yet, to be honest. I don't even think we've received assets or masters yet,
No,
so
we
we
haven't.
can't really check to see what.
Yeah, it's
what's
definitely going to
available.
have a dub on that. You know, in America, Funimation released so in Japan, each of the episodes was released separately in a special collector's edition. So Funimation had the rights to bring that out in America, so they put those two out, the first two. I know they're dubbing the first two into English, so yes, you're right, there's definitely an English dub. It doesn't sound right to me. Funimation never go dub only on an anime
Unless there is a blooming good reason, which is very, very rare. And one example is a Persona 4. The American Blu-ray version could only be English audio only. The Japanese version had to be removed at the request of the Japanese licensor. So unless it's something like that, that's admittedly complete news to us. So we will have to.
I'll find out more next week when I'm at San Diego Comic-Con. Because I have a meeting with Funimation, so I'll ask them about that.
Where's that?
I'll stick it in my meeting notes right now, actually. Thank you.
But thanks for the heads up on that, though.
That's good.
Right, I have time for one final question from Batman.
Make it a good one, Batman.
What do you think is the best and the worst video game to anime adaptation?
Oh, that was a good one.
Flip, there's so many. Okay, to be fair, Final Fantasy Spirits Within. I appreciate that was more like a CG film. Wasn't exactly great. In terms of a really good one, Persona 4 is probably one of the best, in my opinion. It's admittedly the only one I can think of off the top of my head, and someone will probably say something and I'll immediately change my opinion. But that is cracking, and admittedly, I actually watched the anime before playing the game. I've only recently got a Vita, admittedly, so I'm sort of now starting to delve into it, and it's so good. Of which you can buy all 3 parts today at the Manga UK shop.
I love this guy.
And of which I should say, I appreciate Stuart just said it's a final question. All 3 of us are going to be heading back to the manga booth in a minute, so if you've got any questions you want to throw at us, anything you want to discuss with us, you're more than welcome to come over there. We've also got a few pre-sales, if you want to get them before they're released today. We've got Jormungand Season 1, which is an out on Monday, Naruto Shippuden Box Set 18. For all you One Piece fans, we've actually got the Movie Collection 1 released today, which contains the first 3 films in Japanese audio with English subtitles only, because none of them have been dubbed. We may also have a couple of random copies of Marduk Scramble the Third Exhaust available. Like, literally a couple. We were surprised they were even here. So come on over, have a chat to us. You can get some pre-sales, get some cracking good deals as well, admittedly. So,
I think Street Fighter 2, the anime movie, is the best video game anime adaptation, by the way.
I picked that one.
Especially the version that's got Chun-Li's shower scene in it.
In fact, that is the best one. I remember when I watched that on the old VHS tape that I bought from Woolworths. And the thing I loved about it the most is the soundtrack. The English audio has got like Alice in Chains, Korn, all these really cool rock bands on the soundtrack. And you watch the Japanese version, and it's nothing like it at all. It's like a complete polar opposite feeling. And the recent Blu-ray that Jerome just mentioned, like the HD remaster, it looks so damn good. If you want to get a Blu-ray for your collection, get that one.
Jeremy, when you were in high school, were you the kid that all the other kids asked to buy 18-rated VHS tapes for them? You're probably like big, tall. I mean, tallest kid. Were you the tallest kid in your year?
Yeah.
Did you pass for like 18 or?
I didn't have to ask, I just got the stuff.
There you go. So you don't like have like sort of like younger, shorter looking kids saying, hey, Gravesy.
No, because they were all playing football. Okay. I was talking to other people about cool stuff.
Yeah.
You can see a manga movie, Graves, Quest for Street Fighter.
That's right. We'll set up a Kickstarter campaign this evening.
And Andrew, what about you? Is there any conversions that you would like?
I think you've chosen all the best ones. Yeah. And I think, Street Fighter definitely.
Actually, you know what? There is another good one I just randomly thought of. It was... I think it was either a prequel or a sequel to Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. There's a thing called Last Order, I think it is. I don't know if any of you have seen that before. I think it was released on the Perfect edition version of the Blu-ray. I think it was an extra on it. But that is a really cool OVA, and I think, if I remember correctly, it features Zack, who's one of the main characters in the Crisis Core PSP game. I'm getting geeky now, so by the way. But yeah, that's also really good as well.
Oh, you know, I know one of the worst ones. Oh, I shouldn't say this. I'm going to say it anyway. I've also done stuff today anyway. It's not like it's going to go on the internet or anything. I was really disappointed with the Professor Layton film. I don't think that was as good. It was just like, I guess the puzzle game didn't really translate to a narrative, you know, film. It's just more fun to play than to just watch.
I enjoyed it not having played the games, but the one thing I remember, because we went to a screening that we sort of held for manga employees and stuff, and one of the guys afterwards just said, "A gentleman never wears a top hat indoors." The one thing I remember about that screening.
That's actually how we met.
That was actually awesome. Professor Layton, everybody.
I can tell you some really bad video game adaptations to live action movies. Like Mortal Kombat.
What?
When they're so bad, they're good. Yeah, Annihilation. Yep.
Did someone just say Mortal Kombat Annihilation was better than the first one?
No, I was
going to say, flippin' heck.
What about Mario Bros?
Super Mario Bros.
Super Mario Bros.
Dennis Hopper as King Koopa is the best bit of cutscene.
What else is there? Street Fighter with Van Damme. Come on, you can't beat that. That's pretty handy. Kylie Minogue is...
that makes sense.
Right, well, that is all the time I have for. So please give a massive round of applause to our Manga UK, Jeremy Gray, joining us on the line, and producers of that from. And don't forget, you can join us the tweet along this week from about 7:30 for a little bit about our next panel as well.